Jack's Tech Talks.
Passionate about technology.
YouTuber, geek, tech head, internet personality.
Here you will find a variety of podcasts talking about the coolest products on the planet.
From the newest smartphone to surprising gadgets and technology you never knew existed. It's all here on Jack's Tech Talks.
Hey everybody, we're live on my channel. So I've got a guest here with me today, Roger. I do a lot of podcasting with him. So let's bring him onto the stream. Here we go. So I wanted to do a live stream to talk about Bitcoin because I haven't mentioned it really much on my channel, but it seems to be the in-thing talk these days. So Rog, what's your impression of Bitcoin? What have you heard?
Well, I've heard mixed reviews on it. One time there was the review of, oh, don't do it, don't touch it with the barge pole. And then you hear from other people going, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread sort of thing. So I'm kind of toing and throwing. I've heard lots of pros and lots of against it. And the against was, well, you know, you're fluttering with money there. Don't take the risk and all that kind of thing. And then people like yourself are going, yeah, go on, do it. Go on, have a go. You know, you can't, you know, obviously the money that you put in, you know, you could lose it, you could gain it. It's one of those, isn't it? I suppose
that's right.
Because I was chatting to you the other day about this, because I do like the postcode lottery, for instance, and I was saying to you, oh, I'll put a tenner in each month. I think I've won about 20 quid in the last 2 years or so of doing it, and you were saying, well, why don't you put that 10 quid into Bitcoin and see where it goes from there? So I'm just at the moment. I've downloaded Coinbase, the app, and that's where I stand at the moment, sort of thing. So I haven't put any money in, so I want to learn a little bit more from you.
Right. So I started Bitcoin ages ago. I was mining Bitcoin because it's been technology, been tech and stuff. I thought I got a spare machine. I even went out and bought a second GPU card to put it into the machines to get much horsepower as I can to mine coins. And I was mining Bitcoin itself from that time. So probably made. I left it running 24/7, and I was kind of getting about £60 per month from mining coins. So that's £60 for nothing. Running a machine, probably spent half that on electricity, to be honest, because that's kind of what Bitcoin does. Or when you're mining for coins, you generate a lot of heat. It takes a lot of electricity, and you've got to cool the thing down as well. Have a cool room, so you're kind of spending money on aircon as well. So it kind of balances itself out. But back them days, we're going quite a few years ago now. It was worth it. And as Bitcoin changes over the years, it's kind of like half its hashing, which basically from my terms and what my understanding is, it makes it harder for a Bitcoin miner to mine coins. But over the years, you've got even YouTubers building massive platforms on mining coins, you know, much bigger than I had. I mean, I just had a single machine, run 2 GPUs, but you really need like racks and racks of stuff to mine decent money. People were coming out being millionaires out of it over that period. Now, they were saying, like, I saw a little news thing saying that if you paid or left £5 in Bitcoin back in 2010, by now, you would be at least a millionaire, you know, from how the growth is kind of going. And I can kind of see it because back then, Bitcoin itself was worth $6,000. So that equates to something like 42... Well, back then, I can't remember what it equates to then. $6,000 then, but now today's pricing, you're looking at over $60,000. So that equates to about, on the current market right now, I'm looking at the moment, it's £42,419 for one Bitcoin. So if I left my little investment back then, it would have been worth a lot more today. I would have been sitting on. Hate to know how much that would have been, but it would have been a lot of money. So I would kind of come back into it because my colleague, a friend of mine, I talked to quite a bit and stuff. He's invested a lot more money than I have into it, and he's kind of made a good turnaround on it. I thought I'll start putting some money into it. So my original investment that I'm playing between Bitcoin and I don't know. I'll probably pronounce this wrong. Always get this one wrong. Ether or Ethereum or. That's the coin that kind of seems to be doing a big growth period as well. So I'm making good money on that and good money on Bitcoin. So I'm going to kind of show the audience that what I've currently got at the moment. So this is literally what I've been investing in. So my original investment has been about 200 quid. And it's very much like you said, Rog, is put in what you're willing to lose. So if you're paying £10 a month, I know. Well, let's take an average person, sort of like buys takeaways. I mean, takeaways are not cheap these days. It's £30 roughly, something like that. You know, instead of buying that, you could go right. I'll buy bitcoins with that. Like you said, you pay £10 a month on lottery. I'll put that in Bitcoin every single month. So it's kind of only invest money that you're willing to lose to make this sort of happen. And that kind of gets you in that role thinking it's only little by little. I was lost that anyway because that would have been on the lottery. Wouldn't have got anything from that. How many times have you won from your lottery so far?
Twice.
So how much did you win from that?
Tenner.
So you kind of got 1 month's back, didn't you, really?
Yeah.
So my original investment on here, my portfolio, you can see on the screen there, was 200 quid. Now it's actually worth £539.86p. And about 5 minutes before we came live, that was around about 540. So it kind of goes up and down. But like I showed the other day, wasn't it? It was at 515.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's grown a bit overnight. And
Well, you can see it going up and down now, actually.
Yeah.
53961, for instance.
Yeah.
69,
So
there you go.
there you go. So Bitcoin's up plus 3%, and Ether is up plus 8. We need 9% basically. They were saying with Ether that it's going to actually hit trying what they're going to say. It's going to hit. They reckon by the end of this year it's going to hit roughly 9,000. So my investment on that probably I don't even know what the figures are now, but it's going to be a lot more than what's sitting there basically. And they reckon Bitcoin, because now Bitcoin's been announced very much on a stock exchange, because Dow Jones Stock Exchange market in the UK is now going to put all the Bitcoin market or the crypto on the stock exchange. So it's going to open up to a massive lot of investments. So they reckon by the end of the year, maybe probably 2022, some point, Bitcoin will be currently worth $1 million.
Explain to me how is it going up and down then? This is what I don't understand.
Yes, I'm still in the learning curve this, because I was listening to a YouTube video earlier today where they were talking about how Ether works against how Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is mined by miners. What
do you mean by miners?
Miners basically is like Coinbase. You can load Coinbase onto your PC. You've got a good GPU card, but you use what we call the Coinbase miner software. So it's different to what you're seeing on the screen. That's just showing what I can invest and put money into it. So it's kind of a wallet you see in front of you there, and it shows the investment of my coins. But you have a mining software that mines a coin. So it'll take all the transaction on all what you call the Bit blockchain, and it does something on your machine that calculates all those figures and kind of throws it back, and you can make a little bit of earning off of it. Blockchain happens all around the world because obviously anybody who's got a home PC, laptops, people who've got dedicated data centers, and even the data centers themselves are now running their own dedicated servers for Bitcoin mining, and you can pay an account and mine your own coins if you wanted to off of kind of that. I've seen that going as well. So that's all based on computers around the world that basically creates a network, and the Bitcoin network is not actually owned by anybody, it's owned by everybody kind of thing. That's what makes it like good to invest. And as they hash half the hashing, which basically means it makes it harder for miner to make money, it makes the Bitcoin more valuable basically. So that's how I kind of got it explained. There's probably a lot more behind that, you know, because you got to be, I'm not a techie into this because it's very complicated, but where Ether's different, Ether's made up of investments and things. There is a big bank in Europe that's actually on the blockchain for Ether. It's kind of made where Ether's now come up and made a big thing basically. But there is a video out there. I'm going to put you up here. Actually, I'll bring you back on the main screen. I've put banners up here. So this guy here, if you do a search on YouTube for him, he will tell you all the ins and outs on how Bitcoin and the Ether network works. He can go more in detail. He's dedicated to Bitcoin and crypto money basically. So if you need to know more about that, speak to him. He's great tool, great person to listen to as well. Now, what I've recently learned as well, again, my colleague, my friend messaged me and said, look at this video. It was his video, but it was also talking and had this guy on, which is called the Dogecoin Millionaire. So it took him 69 days, and he's now worth $2 million in his Dogecoin Millionaire. So he's invested in Dogecoin. It's another coin. This one that Elon Musk talks about a lot. So he's made $2 million in there. So the YouTube he was on talking to these guys, kind of saying, you should pull out, draw it out, buy yourself a nice house, reinvest the cash into a high interest account. You can basically live off that, off the interest for the rest of your life, which means you'll never need to work again. And do you know what he said?
No.
He's not pulling it out.
Yeah.
He's leaving it in there because tonight on the US, one of the US TV channels, I can't remember which channel, they're interviewing Elon Musk and what everyone's doing on Dogecoin. Man, Dogecoin is rising hugely at the moment because they're waiting for Elon Musk to come on live and talk about Bitcoin. Because normally when he talks about Bitcoin or Dogecoin, it goes through the roof. And that's what he's looking at. And I just kind of looked at his channel with it. He's literally broadcasting in the last 7 hours. And he's already at nearly on 3 million on Dogecoin.
What? It just sounds like, when you're saying Dogecoin, it just reminds me of a game of a Monopoly or something like that.
Well, Dogecoin was invented as just a coin to mess around with. It wasn't a coin to be invested. So only Elon Musk on the back of it and goes, no, it's a coin for the future. This is what you need to be on. And because he's been singing it all through tweeting and various social medias, people have just got on board and just literally thrown money into it. And it's grown and grown and grown. It's made some millionaires out of it. And if he goes on tonight and talks about it, it's going to make a few more millionaires, maybe even billionaires out of this over tonight. So I'm interested to see when it goes live, how big Dogecoin jumped. Because if I had $1,000 right in my bank account now, I will be putting it on Dogecoin right now just to see if Elon Musk says anything. So normally, if Elon Musk says something negative, it normally drops. But recently, Elon Musk is always saying positive things about Dogecoin. It's gone through the roof. And at one stage, someone said, I'm surprised he's not getting done for manipulating the market. That's another thing. If you say too much about something coin and you're famous, you can actually manipulate the market and you can get done for that. But so far, he's been getting away with it.
So how many subscribers are there of Bitcoin then, roughly? Do you know?
I don't know what figures are. I mean, looking on my accounts here, my trade accounts, trying to work out how many people are buying some, how many coins buying. It's difficult to say how many millions of people out there investing into it, but it's huge because you got 550 coins, crypto coins on the market people can invest in. And my colleague of mine was saying to the today by Messenger, literally invested in a few other coins as well that's grown and doing so well. There's some more coins added onto the market as well. So it's constantly changing. It's rapidly changing. But you've got to look out for these coins, see which one's doing really well. I mean, using the Coinbase Pro app, it'll kind of tell you the markets and what they are, and you kind of look through the ones in the pluses. And it also shows over a period of time. So you kind of see how the market's changing, how much it's going up, how much it's going down. Very much Bitcoin's over the years always been up and down, up and down. When the large investments go into it, kind of drops, and it'd be like for about a week, then it picks back up. So last week, it kind of dropped and dipped, and then it shot back up again, and now it's on the climb back up. So I'm interested to see what my money's worth by the end of this year. So I kind of think I'm going to be much more well off than I am if the market's going the right way. But everything on like the finance on Google and Microsoft and all those ones you see out there, all the financial guys, they're all actually saying Bitcoin's here to stay, and it's going to be hitting $1 million very, very soon.
So what's some of the disadvantages of it then?
Well, basically, any market, it's kind of and this is what I've built up for myself, because any financial market like this, there's always a risk losing your money. But from looking at current, when I was dabbling in it back then a few years ago, it was like $6,000 Bitcoin was worth. Now today's it's 60,000. Going back last month, it was 65,000. So it kind of dropped a bit, but it's now going back up again. So it does. So my trusting thing is, it dips, it goes up, it dips, it goes up. It's always going up, basically. It's always growing. It's never dropped. It's never crashed from what I can see. It dips and dives. That's just how Bitcoin works. But it's always going in that right direction, that kind of thing. My money's safe there. I kind of feel it's safe,
What's the biggest? One of the biggest dives that you've seen then with the investment that you had?
Only by like 30 quid, then it picks back up and goes up again, So it's not massively drops at all, I'm not losing massive. Even if it dropped by half, I still have my original investment still sitting there. So I haven't really lost anything. But then I put £200 into my investment, kind of thing. I'm happy to lose that, because that would have been spent on like takeaway otherwise, fuel in the car, running around my kids kind of thing. It would have been just literally wasted on things, Mostly I normally buy stuff that just waste money on Red Bulls and things like that, sweets and stuff you get from the shop. If I just stop that, put it in a Bitcoin, I'm investing for my future.
So if it goes below £200, your original investment, will you get out or will you stay?
I'm just going to leave it there. I mean, it's a bit like my colleague says to me. He says, when you put it in there, just forget about it. Don't look at the market, because that's what he does. And it's hard not to. So every day I'm opening the app, I'm seeing where it has. But I'm seeing this. The changes are not hugely dropped, kind of thing. I think I can risk that. I kind of sort of move coins from Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up in the pluses, and let's say, for instance, Ethereum that I'm invested in goes minus, I'll transfer my Bitcoin to that coin. Then when that coin hits plus and Bitcoin drops in the minus, I then buy back. So I'm kind of like juggling with money little bits, So I'm going to looking at some other coins, like XRP will be another one I'm going to be interested in looking at as well. So I'll put some money into that, and I'll play between all the 4 coins I'm interested in, and just see when they go in plus and the other's gone negative, I'll buy. It's great to buy low, and then when it goes up high, then use that money to buy other coins that have gone low, and kind of like do it. It's kind of fiddling around, but it's worth it, Or the other thing is put a large sum in there and leave it. So I would say to you, Rog, if you was going to invest 200 quid, let's say if you had 200 quid to invest in it, stick it in Bitcoin and leave it to the end of the year.
So have you always left that 200 quid in there? You've not moved it at all. You've just left it there. And when did you put it in there?
I can't remember now. I don't think I've been doing this no more than 2 months. So it's been in a couple of months, I reckon.
So you're saying you roughly as the market stands now, then you've made about 330 quid. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that.
You kind of doubled your investment, haven't you?
Yeah. So on that growth period, and it dropped this week down a bit. Got down to went below like 498, but then it's come back up again. So I haven't worried and gone, I better draw some money out. I better move that money. I've just kind of like, I'm going to leave it, because I know if I take it out and get that funny age, I'll take it out and draw it out. I know in a couple of months I can go back, it'll be like through the roof, and I'll be going, I should have just left that in. So I might as well just get over that, leave it there, and just see how it goes. If I'd had, like I said today, 500 quid or 1,000 in my account now, I would have put into Dogecoin itself, because of the Elon Musk bit. That's a really good investment, but I just don't have that at the moment. So what I might have to do is that will go up, but when it drops again, I might just put some money into it gradually throughout the year and see where this all goes to by the end of the year. So they're predicting by the end of the year, everything's going up. I'm quite interested to see what it's going to come to.
You made an interesting point, actually. The fact is, like, put it in there, just leave it, don't bother looking at it and all that kind of stuff. How many times do we kind of look at our bank account and go, oh God, I'm overdrawn £200. I'm not looking at that account again till the end of the month or whatever. Scary and all that kind of thing. So you're saying that with this, it's the way to do it.
Oh yeah. It's better interest rate in the bank, because it's kind of, if you look at now it's dropped a little bit. So you can see it's dropped now. So it's just under like 537.75. But then that'll go back up again.
£2 in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, and then they'll go back up again. Isn't it? This week it hasn't dropped below like 500. So it's kind of, like that when you was down, it's a couple of days ago, wasn't it? That was 515. It hasn't dropped down past that. So it just keeps going up.
Yeah. It's just a fascinating world, isn't it? Really, I'm not really into money at all. If anyone knows me quite well, I'm rubbish with money completely and all that kind of stuff. So if it's a way of making money, yes, I'll do it, and which clearly you're making money out of it at the moment, which is great.
Yeah, it's really great. I just want to now sort of put a bit more money into it. I'm going to have to wait till the end of the month and get paid. I'll probably put another like 40 into it. If I get a win for 1 month, and then I might put a bit more into it, So it's just gradually building up. it's going to be a good investment this year, from what everyone's been saying. There's no negative on the market at the moment with the news saying, "Oh, it's going to drop, it's going to crash." Even the YouTubers are saying it's there to stay. Bitcoin is here to stay, basically, for a long, long time.
So
Same with Ethereum.
if you put 40 quid in now, where would the total be then?
I don't know how they work these figures out, because it's like, because I mean, it's showing on the screen here, it's +8, +2. So I don't know if that's 2% added onto it or something. I don't know. There's a bit more to it than that. But even like £40, if it goes up quite high, you can double your money quite quickly. If you leave it in until like Christmas time, you're gonna have a lot more money than you didn't have before. Basically, that's all I can basically say on that side.
And do you have to say you wanted to draw that out? How much of that money will you actually get? It says 500,000. So how much of that money do you actually get?
Well, let's talk about adding fees in. So obviously, when you link your bank account to it, I've always put in like £20 at a time, and sometimes I put £10 in. So let's say £20, you probably lose around about 50p on transfer fees going in. Basically, transfer in between coins doesn't cost anything, and then to transfer money out back into cash, there will be obviously transaction fees at the end. So it's kind of like, if you got low in and you want to low out, it's not worth doing it because you'll pay more fees coming out. So it's always wait to like just build it up to a point, then take it out. And then, because obviously when you transfer the fees back, you also then got capital tax and stuff like that, because you made money on investment. I think the guy, when I was talking to the guy about his Dogecoin with 2 million, I think he loses $500,000 on US taxes when he pulls it out. That's the reason why he's maybe saying, I'm going to leave it in. And he says, I'm not going to take anything out until I at least get to 10 million.
Fair enough.
And I think he will do it, because he's already, like earlier I was saying, he's already on 3 million now on Dogecoin. And if Elon Musk does his little thing tonight, his investment's going to go shoot up. So I'm going to check his channel for tomorrow, see what he's done, how far he's gone up. It's kind of crazy. It's really crazy.
So will that see your investment going up quite a bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how they work that out, because I'm not actually invested in Dogecoin, because I've got no money in that at the moment. So I'm really just in Bitcoin and Ether. So that's the long haul. So I'm looking towards Christmas to see where that investment takes me. Because Dogecoin goes, it has its pivot, goes up. Elon Musk talk about it, goes up again. Then it drops down. Then when Elon Musk does a tweak, it goes up. So it's kind of like that. And I wish I had some money to put into Dogecoin, because that would be a really good investment. And so if you could be a millionaire in 69 days, like Dogecoin millionaire guy did on YouTube, then it means anybody can do it. I don't know what his main investment was, but because he's kind of a YouTuber, he's probably put a few thousand in there first to start with, hence how he's got where he was. So I might start play one of his old videos and go back and see what his original investment was to work out, So if anybody wants to know more about how he made himself a millionaire in 69 days, then go and check his channel out. It's definitely worth watching, and I'll be watching that later, because I want to learn from this guy. And like I said, Rog, we wanted to do podcasting on the go, and we wanted to invest in a nice big mobile studio kind of thing that we can take with us on the road and to the events. I really want to put this to do this, So if we can make money through this, then we got a future, mate.
Fingers crossed.
Well, yeah, fingers crossed. That's right.
Yeah, it's a fascinating world, and I wish you best of luck with your investment.
Yeah, quite excited. So I'm gonna try and find that US show. It's on one of his YouTube channels, which one he's going to be on, to see what he says, and then I'm going to kind of look at the Dogecoin figure, see how it's jumped up. I can't actually see it on my investment screen on here at the moment. It's not showing it, but I know it was quite a lot high at the time. So I'm interested to see what happens. But that's going to be flashed all over Facebook anyway when he does say something.
And you'll be ringing me going, I made £1,000, yay!
Well, if I had Dogecoin, I'd be saying, oh shit, I could have been a millionaire by now if I invested. It's just that, I've been looking in the past, like last month or so, Dogecoin. I don't know, Elon Musk keeps spiking up. And then when my colleague sent me the YouTube video, I looked at it and shit, I should have done this months ago, kind of thing, Because Dogecoin is hitting high, so it's kind of like, if you did it back then, you're better off today. But doing it now, you're going in at a high. Like Connie always says, going in at a low price and then just let that crawl up, basically, you know.
So where did you put your money in then to start with?
So to start with, it was Bitcoin, and then once I got quite a bit in Bitcoin, I then transferred some of Bitcoin into Ethereum and basically left it on that. Then I kept watching the Ethereum. I'm not even saying that word right. That's not the actual name. It's Ethereum. It's got a weird name to it anyway. People out there probably know what I mean. Ethron. It's got a weird name anyway. So when that went into minus and Bitcoin was a plus, I transferred some money into that coin. And then when Bitcoin went to a minus and that went into the plus, where I made money, and then took out what I made and brought back into Bitcoin again. And I kind of swapped backs and forwards kind of thing. So now that gives me a portfolio of 193.36 in Ethereum. Still got 345, but some of that 345 is money made from Ethereum as well.
And if if the market suddenly drops completely and goes below zero of your investment, do you have to pay what you owe?
Well, I think if you lose it, you lose it. I think it's gone. There's nothing there you would owe anybody. You can actually get loans from Bitcoin market itself, then you wouldn't have to pay that back. But if I lost my investment, that's it, lost. It's gone. But from all this and over the years looking at stuff, it's not going to go. I don't think I'm going to lose that 500. You know, the worst case scenario, it might drop to 300, then pick back up again, kind of thing. You know, I can't see Bitcoin dropping. It's just going up and up and up. It's never. What was it, like 60? It's dropped. Oh, it's 60. Say it did drop. It's 65. Go back a few months ago. Now it's around about the 60 mark, so it's coming back up again. And people are saying it will hit, was it 100,000 by June, July time? Or they were talking about it will be worth 300,000 by Christmas. But then people are now talking about, especially finance people and stuff like that, they're now talking that it's going to hit $1 million Bitcoin be worth very soon. So that I don't know if that's going to hit by Christmas or it's going to hit sometime for next year, but it will get there. So Bitcoin is your kind of like, if you're not in a hurry to be rich, Bitcoin, keep it in there, stable. Because as far as I'm concerned, from like going back when I invested to right now, it has been a very stable coin to invest in.
So you don't have to move it if you don't want to move it, no?
No. I get my colleagues basically said to me when I first started this, just leave it in there, forget about it. It says open Bitcoins in your sons and your kids' names, drop 50 quid in it, and just forget about it.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, it's
interesting time.
Interesting times, isn't it, and stuff like that. We'll have to see how you do in a couple of months and stuff. A little catch up.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a catch up and see where my original investment in. I'll keep an eye on if I do add to that myself, so we can kind of know what has been made. But I think for the moment I'm going to literally leave what I've got in there and just see where this takes me, at least until June, July time. See what the investment looks like then. If it's still growing in the right direction, then I might seriously start putting a lot more money into it. Ready, definitely for Christmas. See what happens then.
Right, show us what is standing at the moment then.
Yeah, so it's come back up a bit again.
Right, so 9 o'clock on Saturday, the 8th of May, Jack's £200 investment is now standing at £539 and 6p.
Yeah,
there you are. I've just stamped the actual recording here.
So we'll do another live stream next week, same time, and we'll see where that's taken me.
There you go. All right.
So
yeah,
it's fun times. Thanks, Roger, for coming on. So do you think you'll be investing?
I might give it a little go. You know, I'm still a bit skeptical about it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no. If you don't feel right doing it, don't do it. If you're wasting £10 a month and think it's not getting you anywhere, at least stick it in your coins, because if it's going £10 in your coins, it's going to still be in there.
Yeah, I could do with an extra. I could do with it, like, you know, investing on my £10. So how much do you reckon I'd make on the £10 then in a week?
I don't know, it'd probably be about £1, 3, 4, maybe. Depends like how long you keep it in for, and if the market keeps going up right as well. You know, that'd be an interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Get a spare tenner, stick it into Coinbase, and just see what happens. You do it. Do it today, right? And then next week we see where yours is. That'd be interesting. Experiments, look.
Experiments, yes. Okay, all right. There you go. Fantastic. Well, it's lovely to join you, Jack, today.
That's right. Thanks for coming on and having a chat with me and stuff,
That's no worries at all.
So anybody on podcast, obviously we've been looking at figures on the screen, so I will probably do a screenshot and add that to my links in and stuff like that for you. So I've got that. We're live streaming plus doing a podcast as well. So there's probably think, I can't see what he's looking at.
Fair enough.
Oh, and Rog doesn't sound like he's on helium, so it still must be a sound card.
Do I sound? Say that again.
You sound like you're a bit on helium.
Oh, it's the sound card.
Yeah, so it's not your voice.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like that on normally. He's got a proper radio voice.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Rog.
Cheers.
And see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Jack's Tech Talks.
For more episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcast, Google, and Spotify.
Don't forget to subscribe to stay fully up to date.
Also, check out our new website
www.jacksgear.co.uk.
for more reviews and videos.